as I told you before, I'm trying to break these up into 30-minute episodes. That way, you know, the commitment on it isn't too awful bad. For me, I'm going to run basically through these a lot quick, so that way it's fast and easy if you're just kind of going through things. So I said I was going to basically explain the refined storage, my generation for refined storage power, and my power system, which looks absolutely dismal, but it's not. Okay, so normally these would be covered like in blue, like they'd be blue all the way through. They just look absolutely gorgeous, but they're not. It's because I found out that Mechanism actually has higher storage, and I could create these ultimate energy cubes. And if I can create ultimate energy cubes, it'll cover 102 million energy, versus these guys only cover 102,000. Like these are 102,000 each going up through here, and these are in the millions. And I've got like 3 of them. I don't even have this one on. So I have like 2 extras here as buffers. So this is what I was using to transfer my energy. And I had got these in loot crates. But we're going to go ahead and look at Flux Networks real quick so that way I can explain it. Flux Networks are a way of you transferring power wirelessly, okay, through points and plugs. But first thing you're going to need is a flux controller. A flux controller can be made using a flux block, flux dust, and a flux core. That's all that's required. Okay, the flux core, all you need is 4 obsidian and flux dust and an ender eye. Now, remember, one of the largest challenges you're going to have is that blaze rod, right? And the ender ender eyes. So blaze rod and ender eyes. You can make a blaze chicken, and that takes a gold chicken and a lava chicken. So you don't even have to go to the nether. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to do anything. You can just come over here and be like, hello chickens, I need you to kiss. And ta-da, now you have blaze rods, the mini. Same thing with ender chickens. If you want an ender chicken, you're like, cool, I need a diamond chicken and another wart chicken, and now I have an ender chicken. And then you have all of the ender pearls you need. So now you can make all the eyes of ender you need. Now you're like, all right, cool. Now I need flux dust, right? We're going to go down there and make some. Grab some of this and this guy. And I'll explain this in a second too. Bedrock set. I love this thing. Oh, I forgot the hold on. Yeah, gotta look into the distance. If not, it gets weird. Gotta grab some obsidian. Where am I? Oh yeah, I set this thing up here. Obsidian. I've got 131, but I could always use more. There's some obsidian. Again, it has EMC. Look, I've got 541 ender stars. Or nether stars. It's not even a deal. It's not even a problem anymore. So, boop. Come down here. As long as there's bedrock, right? Got this guy powered. I'll explain him in a minute. So you have this and this. So you put a block of obsidian. You take your redstone dust. You throw it underneath. You give it a whack. And it goes boom. You pick up the dust. Ta-da. And then you go home. And because I'm lazy and I don't want to wait to go up the stairs anymore, I teleport. Okay, so you can create easily stacks and stacks and stacks of this dust relatively quickly. It's automatable, yes. Necessary, not really. I wouldn't say so. I don't think it would be really worth the effort of doing that. You can. I mean, realistically, I just made two stacks. You can go make 4 stacks, 8, 10, 12, 20 stacks. However long it takes before you start picking up the redstone dust whenever you throw it down before you can slap the obsidian. So, basically, that's all you need to create all of this to include the plugs. Plugs, which are relatively easy. They're 4 flux cores, 1 block. I never covered a block. Blocks are basically flux dust and flux cores. Again, flux cores are relatively easy once you have the EMC machine. Plugs are the same thing, except for they use a block of redstone. The basic flux storage, which you can get through mob drops and you can get through drops from the loot bees, that's where I got it, is basically flux blocks with glass panels. And they can be upgraded. Literally the same process, except for you put 6 basic flux storages with panels. By this point, though, if you get into mechanism, you can make your metallurgic infusers. You only really need 1, but it's going to take forever. These split into 3 versus just 1. So basically imagine this one that runs this way is all 3 of these running this way. Okay? And if you wanted to run them to where they did multiple things, you can configure them using the configuration settings on the side. Red means insert, blue means output, yellow means anything extra, because sometimes they do create extra things inside of these mechanism mods, and green is energy. So you can basically slot your spots for whatever they're going to do. So that explains my flux network, my mechanism batteries, and now we're going to get into the next part. So if we grab, I made a crusher out of mechanism. It's crushing netherwort. I took my 1 netherwort chicken. I set him over here all by himself, unfortunately. And now I have a basic logistical transporter through mechanism. It's really easy to make. It basically makes the chicken come up here. He makes netherwort. It gets crushed into biofuel. The biofuel goes into biofuel generators. The biofuel generators create biofuel and energy. So they create the energy, it goes into a flux plug. The flux plugs are all consuming the energy. I can basically bypass the limit. I can get rid of this. And it didn't help. So it's going to basically pull 140 out of this one, this one, this one, this one. So I'm basically making all this energy. I also created a lapis domino. And I have a lapis chicken feeding it, so it just creates more, and it's feeding into this guy, so he's actually getting a little bit more, but it's not very good. Also, when I first started, I actually used sterling dominoes, and sterling are probably the best starting thing you can make, because all you need is a little bit of gold, redstone, iron, and you can create them. So you can create as many as you want, and then you can have your 10, 10, 10 cold chicken, which is right here. Let's grab. You can see I actually upgraded this with a diamond one at one point. Come over here, and you can just slap this in here for a little bit of power generation. We can see that this is only making 40, so that's 80. 80 is enough to run this guy, the controller. So we're going to get into that now. So refined storage there's a couple of requirements. You have to have disk drives if you want to hold any amount of items, and they require disks. Okay, basically imagine a regular computer at your desk, or if you're playing Minecraft, the same concept. Each one can hold 1,000 items. So this has got 8 spots, so that's 8,000 items. I have another one that has a 1K and a 64K. I made a 64K because I got tired of making 1Ks. You can make as many of these as you want, so if you're a little low on items and you're slowly working your way through, make a couple of disk drives. Ain't going to hurt nothing. It's fine. So we're going to go to refined storage. And we're going to look at what you need. Okay, the controller requires an advanced processor, quartz enriched iron. Quartz enriched iron is 1 nether quartz, and then iron. You can get the nether quartz from nether quartz chickens. Yep, you heard me right. Nether quartz chickens. That's not what I wanted. Where did it go? There it is. A machine casing, which is relatively easy. It's quartz enriched iron around a piece of polished stone. You can put polished stone in there. So that's relatively easy. The hardest one's going to be your advanced processor. The advanced processor requires you to make a raw advanced processor. To make a raw advanced processor, you got to set up a thing. So this thing, you need to have a conveyor belt that goes this way, and it gets inset. The first thing it's going to have on this little handy deployer is going to have a processor binding, then a silicon, then a redstone dust. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of each. And we're going to throw that in there. And redstone, right? What was the last one? Oh, silicon. So let's grab some silicon. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one little thing over this, and I created it back here. And you can see these guys are set up to do something else right now. I think it was a watch of flowing time. Give me that. Give it here. Give it here. Yeah, give me that. Give me that. And you don't got none either. So that, and now we need a diamond. Oh, I forgot to mention that I do have wireless connectivity to my stuff. So let's grab one diamond out of my inventory, slide it into here, and you can see it comes over and gets smashed. I did it in the wrong order. So of course, it'll pass the first one. Thank you for poking it. Stop it. Why do you have to make life more difficult? There it is. Boop. This was relatively easy. You can make a belt funnel. Another belt funnel. And belt funnels are basically... Oh, you're going to require me to put another silicon. If you mess this up, remember it does require you to do this in order. There, now it's happy. So it gives you the raw advanced processor. Once you get the raw advanced processor, you come over here to your super fast and you get an advanced processor. So that's how you create those. So once you create your processors for your refined storage, you can see that you can make raw, right? You can make improved, which is gold. So the first one is iron for your raw. Then there's gold. Then there's diamond. And then, of course, you cook them and they become these processors. Now, these processors are used basically in everything. So your 1Ks don't really use it. Your 4Ks don't really, they use it right here with all these different processors. So... And then as you move up from your 4K to your 16K, they're going to use the gold ones. And then when you move from your 16Ks to your 64Ks, they're going to use the diamond ones, and so on and so forth. The fluid ones are a little bit different. They're going to use different things, but in the end, basically it's the same thing. Hey, what's up? Oh, just explaining what all I did off camera that I shouldn't have. So... if you have any questions, just put it in chat. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you got. Right now I'm going over refined storage. I'm about halfway through this stream at about the 30-minute mark. I normally cut off the stream to start it back up. Please please don't be too grumpy. You got to watch another ad to get back in, but it's the only way I can do it, and then upload it to YouTube. I do it so then my friends and my kids can watch and they can enjoy it at their leisure, because those are the people that I'm creating these for. I'm not creating it for myself. I'm creating it for them, and it's a way of me spending time with them and my friends. We didn't really get into the storage blocks. Storage blocks are basically the same thing as the refined storage units. Let's see here. There's cables. I didn't really mess with cables very much with this one. I didn't use exporters, importers, or external storage. External storage basically will hook your system to the boxes. So these boxes over here, I don't care about you, B, go away. These boxes over here, I can hook a cable underneath here as an external storage directly to the storage controller, and it will link to everything in here. So if I instead had, if I just wanted to run it to over here, so that way I had all of these chickens hooked to my system, I could. I don't really need that. I'm not that big of a hurry. These items, did they pop to the top? I got them. Oh, I got chance cubes. Boo. I'll eat a golden carrot. So, that covers pretty much this. Pattern grids allow you to basically automate processing. So let's say these are all the things I've automated for processing. You just put a pattern in, you tell it what you want, and then it'll basically automate the crafting. So makes it faster. It's not really that hard to do. A great example would be, let's see here. I think I did all the way to 16K. Yeah. So let's go with pattern. Let's see here. There we go. So I do that. I don't have a blank pattern. What does a blank pattern look like? Let's see here. There should be a blank pattern. Stone cutting pattern. Here it is. Here's a pattern. So we'll create a pattern, and I'll show you how to make a 64K pattern. So you do that, you take it out, and then you'll have to put it in one of the crafters. I don't even have crafters because I just did it all by hand. It takes a little bit more time, but basically you can create this. Actually, you know what? We'll just have some fun with this. We'll do it real quick. Let's grab a 1K. What are we missing for the 1K? Machine casing. Got it. And then we can just put this here. I think this is a 1K storage block, and I think it only fills. I don't know. Does this even have crafting? Storage block, fluid storage block, crafting grid. This will tell you no, that's how you craft things in it. There's a grid, crafter, that's it. Crafter manager, so this is crafting monitor. So the crafting monitor will tell you what's crafting. The crafting manager will manage what you're crafting so you can actually see what you're crafting. And the crafter is actually what crafts it. And I'm missing construction core. No, this one. Let's see here. Another one of those. Is that a grid? No, I need a crafter. Let's make a cable because I didn't make any external storage cable. We just want regular cable. So we're going to connect this like so. And then I'm going to put down my crafter, right? Then we're going to throw the pattern in here. So now the pattern's actually locked inside of here. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of refined storage on here so then you guys can see what it does. All right, so now you can see where it says craft. And if we want this to actually craft, we can just tell it to start. But if there's any problems, we won't know exactly what it is, so we need to make a crafter manager. No, you don't even have EMC. Why do I have another one? That's weird. I think I just made it so then I would be done with it. So, crafting monitor. Pattern. Grab 2 of those. Crafting monitor. Missing another one of those. I don't need you right now. I wonder if you'll connect. You do. So what I do is I can just say, hey, start this. And it's going to say, okay, I have 1 to craft, 4 available, 1 available, 1 available. And then if I look in here, nope. Make sure they're all connected so that way I can speak to it. And start crafting preview. So it doesn't know what it needs. So the thing is you have to build all the steps leading to it. So for example, if I wanted something that was relatively easy, right? I'd have to create something that would be easy for it to craft to begin with. So I go to the pattern grid. We need a blank pattern, which looked like a card with a C. Oh, we don't need to teach it how to make it. We need to make it. Where are you? I just seen you. There you are. So boom, we're going to grab a couple because you can store multiples in here. And we're going to teach you how to make 1K storage parts, right? Because 1K storage parts don't really require anything. So we can teach you how to do that. We will need it to learn how to do quartz enriched iron. So we'll teach you how to do that. And so now, this is a better example of how to teach this thing. I don't know if I need to have this end of it connected, but what we're going to do is we're going to connect everything because I'm not very good at this. You can also make flat ones that'll actually connect in a flat manner, but I think all you got to do is just put it back through your inventory. Let's see. I think it's like this. No, they might just take up room. I don't know. So now if we took out all of these, all 70 of them, you can see where it says craft. So we can say we want 10 more, start, and it says it needs more silicon and it needs more glass. So let's grab some silicon. Now let's grab some glass because apparently we are ridiculously low for some reason, and we're going to throw it in here, right? So we're going to say, give me a bunch of glass. That's enough. And silicon, because we don't have enough silicon. So we're going to say, give me a bunch of silicon. That's enough. So we're going to come back over here. We're going to throw all of our items we just duplicated in here. And we can make as many 64Ks as we want because we have all the stuff. Let's go down here. And we said we wanted it to craft 10, right? So start, and you can see that it's still counting up because it has the items it needs inside of there. Now if we take those out and we say we want it to craft 10 more, oh, I hit escape, 10 more, start, and we look at this, the crafting monitor should have said something, but it's not because I don't know, I hooked it up wrong. But now we have probably 10 more. And we can just pop these back in here. It's got 85. And then we could teach you how to make 4Ks if we wanted to, just as easy, just like this. But it's going to require basic processors, and the basic processors are a requirement for it to be coming out of this over here. So that's kind of a pain because I could automate it using the exporter. Let's see, where's the exporter? There's the exporter. Using the exporter, I could tell it to put whatever it's required to in there. But moving on, we're going to go ahead and move on from there. That's a whole thing that like I could do a whole series about just dealing with refined storage. It's so much fun. There's so many people who've went over all this stuff before. You can look them up. They're really good at it. I'm not that great at it most time. As you can see, my pattern crafter or my pattern crafting monitor doesn't even work right now. But you can use the exporter and the importer. Importer is going to take the items. The exporter is going to send the items out. So you can send the items to the individual boxes and run the cables up there, and then you could actually run a cable over here, and then whenever you requested it, it would actually send the items directly to the boxes that needs it, and it would push it through, and then it would import it from the last box back over. So it would have been very, very, very neat. But what I want to show you is this. So extreme crafting table. So the extreme crafting table required these guys, crystal matrix, right? These guys required nether stars and diamond lattice. Diamond lattice was netherite scrap and diamonds. Not a big deal. Why? Because of the fact we were trying to get to here. So I was already making these. Netherite upgrades, again, not a big deal. Neutronium ingots was a challenge because I had to figure out how to get them. As you can see, it's kind of hard. But if you get a pile of neurons, you got to use these guys. Neutron collectors. And you can see they're slowly gaining more and more and more of these guys. So that's why I created the Watch of Floating Time to create these a little bit faster. They're kind of passively creating them as it is now. Once I get 64, I'll just throw them in here. So these guys are going to help me get to this guy by making these neutronium ingots. Right? So I need these guys. Alchemical chest is something I'm going to make in just a minute. Energy collector Mark IIs, again, antimatter relays, again, all this stuff is stuff I can make in just a moment. The silverfish hearts are a boss fight, and that's something I'm going to be working my gear up to throughout this whole thing. This is another thing I created. It's just through Powwow, and I kind of went through and used flux networks, and it's another reason why I'm building up such a net large amount. Is because you use the energizing orb and these guys, energizing rods. I know that they're starter ones. And they're not very hard to make. So you got nether quartz, basic controllers, which are literally dielectric paste, iron ingots, and redstone block, which is all easy to get, right? So that's how you make it. It starts with a basic capacitor, then it makes a tiny capacitor. Dielectric casing is literally dielectric rods made with the dielectric paste and iron bars. Dielectric paste is 2 coal or 2 charcoal, a clay ball, and blaze powder. We have a clay chicken, we have a blaze rod chicken, so this is all done. So once I was able to make these, and I had the ability to put flux points on them, I created the energizing power orb, which is this guy. He's really tiny, right? And you can see it was literally glass over another dielectric casing with dielectric rods horizontal. And the way you make them horizontal is you put a vertical one in and it makes it horizontal, or you just make it horizontal to begin with. So you make this little guy. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make another energy condenser. So let's look up at Project E. We're going to make an energy condenser. So let's put it on the docket. And what we need to make it is a dark matter block, which is just 4 dark matter. I think we have that. All right. So let's make 2. We're just going to make 2 of everything because I'm being crazy right now. So to make the next thing on this, we need an alchemical chest. This was fun. You're going to like this. So low convalence dust. You need 4 redstone and a double compressed cobblestone. So if we hit that, it's not going to help. So let's grab a stack of this and let's look up our cobblestone situation. We are not doing 1 time compressed. Let's see here. 2 times compressed. So we got 2. Boom. So now we have everything we need. And I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then you can see it just goes, right? There's our low convalence dust. See how fast that was? And it's because I have all the power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now this takes a lot of power, so I spend a lot of time off screen screaming at the thing. And this one takes low convalence dust. Oh, it's in an alchemy table. This one takes redstone dust, a zinc ingot. So let's go grab a zinc. No, not a K. C. So let's grab 2. Right? And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. And before we know it's done, so there's 2. And we're going to go for the next part of the alchemical chest, which is the high convalence dust through here, which is charcoal and diamond, or coal and diamond. We got coal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there we go. And a diamond. You know what? We're going to go grab 2 diamonds from over here from our chicken. Thank you, chicken. 1, 2. Nope. Nope. Shift. Right click back out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And done. Okay, so we got pretty much all the dusts that we need, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 of each and throw it back into our ME system, because like I said, now that we have the cheat machine, we always keep 1. And that way we always have it for if we want to make something else. So we're going to come back and we're going to make the alchemical chest. So I'll see you in just a minute.